do have to say there is really kind of a strand among all of the committees that have been having a discussion around COVID-19 and how to react to certain challenges from each of those committees. So I'm going to go through some highlights. I'm not necessarily going to go into all COVID-19 kind of discussions, but what I hope is we can figure out with the new committee how to pull from all of these committees their ideas and thoughts and kind of put them together in one place and see how we can best assist in addressing some of those issues. I'll start with the Law Enforcement Committee, which reported that they've done a lot of work, especially with the committee member, Lieutenant Molly Harris from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, that has been working really since September of 2020 on training over 2,000 employees at OSP on the 16-hour CIT familiarization course. They've been working with subject matter experts across the state, including Ruth Samira and Officer Jeff Futo from the Kent State University Police Department. So they are really focused on the 40-hour course next, including all troopers, Ohio Investigative Unit agents, dispatchers, and motor carrier enforcement agents. The goal is to have them trained by 2021. The Law Enforcement Committee is also assisting the Ohio Police Officer Training Academy, also known as APATA, on developing training on de-escalation tactics. And after this is completed, the Law Enforcement Committee is going to work on kind of marketing and promoting this training to sheriff's offices and police officers through the Buckeye Sheriff's Association and the Ohio Association Chief of Police. And in May of 2021, Law Enforcement Committee co-chair Jeff Futo will be providing training for the Richland County Sheriff's Office regarded to responding to crisis calls and assisting with CIT training for probation officers throughout the state. The Veterans Committee has been working on a couple of things. They are currently working on finding a new co-chair. Their next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, January 27th at 4 p.m. And they're going to be discussing the Law Enforcement Veterans Response Teams Initiative. Their last meeting in October, they had a presentation from Tom Cunningham, former state commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and he gave a presentation on how military organizations can assist Ohio veterans treatment courts. So definitely a connection to specialty docket courts there. And also Justice Stratton previewed the 6th annual Veterans Summit, a virtual session entitled Lean Forward, Answering a Call to Veterans in Crisis. Seems like in the Housing Committee, a lot of focus on, of course, meeting the needs during this COVID situation, and a couple of the other points, various different, grant opportunities and some of the financing that they are working on there. Policy and legislation, again, really focused on COVID, but also something that I thought was really interesting of note is working on legislation, House Bill 36, and policy support around dyslexia screening in grades K through 5, which is something that is near to my heart, and that is something that I have lived with for a long time, and it would have been a lot easier had I been screened when I was a child. Research and best practices. They have been working on some of the CareSource project and data that they're collecting merging jail and kind of health data sets. Again, the impact of COVID, and also some discussion around funding opportunities, which I think we'll kind of work to maybe follow up and send these out to all of our committee members. There's some interesting webinars and recordings that are talking about opportunities to improve crisis systems, an upcoming webinar on best practices and antipsychotic medications in jails, free training through OMOS, the treatment of forensic clinic clients in a COVID environment. And regarding funding is still available through the Office of Criminal Justice Systems. So I would definitely look at their website or contact Lisa Shove with any questions about this. Again, we definitely will try to put this together and send it out to all of the committee members so they have this information. I have a feeling there's, as Justice Stratton mentioned, there's going to be a lot of funding opportunities coming up, and some of them that have already existed that still have funding availabilities. So definitely want to be on the lookout for those. I got a couple of corrections. Thank you very much that it is House Bill 36 and regarding the dyslexia screening, and actually includes grades kindergarten through 3rd grade. So thank you for making those adjustments. I'm hoping, we may not be able to have our next meeting in person. We may do this again. We're going to try to put together some way to collect some key points from all of the subcommittees that we can better communicate what's going on in each of the subcommittees if we have this meeting virtual once again. I certainly miss the ability that each person could present from their subcommittee and really talk about what they're doing, because I think that really gives us a good idea from the people that are actually doing the work. So we're going to work a little bit more before this next meeting, should it be virtual, and kind of collect some bullet points that we can better present what each of these committees are doing in relation to their work. I want to welcome the new committee, currently called the Surge Committee, but we'll be looking for a different title for that. They will have a meeting soon. We look forward to the next time we meet, them presenting on the work that they're doing. Should be exciting. This is something that was really important to the Attorney General. He's really been thinking a lot about the effects of this pandemic over the last year on mental health, addiction, domestic violence, clear across the board. And I think we all understand we're going to see an uptick on top of what we were already trying to work through. Thank you for joining us again today. This was a great presentation, and we will look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. Thank you.